agricultural and livestock reaping, we will get different products. There are different types of waste, such as animal manure, agricultural residue, fruit and vegetable waste, poultry waste, and other waste. They are organic substances which are known as biomass. It will pollute the rural environment and cause several health hazards. Will the waste decompose by themselves automatically? It might take a long time. How can we deal with this? What can we do with this? Check this out.
So our first point of the benefits of agricultural waste is composting. Compost is a mixture of decaying organic matter, and composting is a simple way of adding nutrient-rich humus to plants to aid in plant growth. So we know that our environment consists of a lot of microorganisms, and agricultural waste is biodegradable. So when microorganisms decompose agricultural waste, they will turn into fertilizer. And these fertilizers can be provided to plant and to supply nutrients to the plant.
Where we are now is a composting plant where we compost organic waste into fertilizer that we apply to crops.
Within this project, 3 types of composites are produced.
Fecal sludge only, then the water fecal sludge plus sawdust, and the water fecal sludge plus market waste. We break the lumps into smaller particles, then we form the heaps, add the required volume of water to the heap, then we turn at regular intervals, monitoring the temperature and the moisture content.
When the composite is ready, the next critical process starts.
The first machine here is the grinding machine, and what it does basically is to reduce the particle size of the compost.
Water and binding materials such as starch and clay are added to the grinded compost. The mixture then goes to the machine that produces the fertilizer pellets. And here are the dry pellets, ready for use as manure.
Besides fertilizer, what can we do with the waste? How about generating energy with biomass? This will become one of the sustainable source for human being. For example, biogas plant that has been practiced in India for a decade. So let's see how it works. Thank you.
Biogas uses manure to produce methane and acts as an excellent fertilizer to grow crops and feed animals. A team of 5 just returned from Bentong, Malaysia, where they spent 3 weeks building a biogas system. They educated pastors, businessmen, and the local indigenous peoples about the benefits of biogas in their communities.
So we went to Malaysia and we went to a town called Bentong. And in that town there was a guy who has a farm and he's setting up a demo farm. And so we built a biogas dome, and then next to that's going to be aquaponics. So biogas is just a natural process that you put into an airtight chamber, and naturally it would occur on the ground if manure was in the ground, but we make an airtight chamber to put the manure in, and then the manure naturally decomposes and it off-puts a methane gas, and that methane gas can power a generator, it can power lights, it can be used for cooking on a stove. It can be used to power a hot water service, and the offshoot, once it's decomposed, it's actually an excellent fertiliser that people can put on their crops or feed the pigs or put into aquaponics.
Main point 3 is about the viniculture. The process of viniculture involves the earthworm, which is the best friend of farmers. The earthworm will consume the organic matters and prepare the valuable compost in the soil. Earthworm also will maintain the soil fertility. It will turn the granule of the fertilizer into the tiny particle, so that keep the plant to absorb the nutrient from the soil easier.
So you want to start a worm farm? Worm farming is a great way to reduce the waste you're throwing out to landfill and can help you create homemade soil conditioners for your garden. Did you know that the average Aussie bin is made of up to 40% food? Why not get some new down-to-earth friends who'll appreciate the food more than the tip will? We'll talk you through all 4 steps, unless you already know where you want to go, and then you can just jump straight to that section. How do you become a worm farmer? First, source a worm farm and some composting worms. When figuring out how big your worm farm needs to be and how many worms you need, think about how much food you throw away per day. Worms can eat about half their body weight worth of food. So if you throw away 2 apple cores and a carrot, you'll need this many worms to consume it. If you're unsure about how much food you throw away, just buy a large box of worms to get you started. Choose a well-constructed worm farm so pests can't get in. Remember, it's not a pest farm, it's a worm farm.
Hello and Assalamualaikum. My name is Mohammed Salmi Bianwar. I think that agriculture waste is full with nutrients. In order to fully utilize the usement of it, why don't we grow plant on it by breeding mushroom? Mushroom breeding, also known as fungiculture, is a process to produce products that obtain from the mushroom and fungi. It requires laboratory condition with a laminar floor, and then it needs intense of care due to the fact that it easily contaminated with microorganisms. There are few species of mushroom that usually commercialized in the market, such as shiitake mushroom, butter mushroom, and also oyster mushroom.
It's a fungus. It doesn't have chlorophyll like the green plants, so the fungus is not able to make its own nutrients unlike the trees that we see. So we have to make the substrate which has been broken down so that the mushroom can be able to utilize the nutrients. So that's the reason why we need to compost the substrates like the wheat straw, so that the nutrients have been made available, and again we have pasteurized the other unfavorable microorganisms that will be harmful to the production. So composting is you add the water, you add the supplements. Supplements are materials that have more nitrogen than the wheat straw to enable good growth or better production and faster production. So you add water and you turn. It's an anaerobic process. That's why you have to keep turning the starts up to a point where most of these microorganisms have been accumulated and some have been killed.
In conclusion, we know that how potent is the natural agricultural waste. There's no reason we don't use it correctly and meaningfully. Agricultural waste is not the wastage from the agriculture and the livestock. It is part of the natural cycle and help to balance the ecosystem. That's all from us. Thank you.